Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, our live stream, Trending Thursday. Glad to be here. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Side saddle to me is my good friend Joey, who is my producer. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There you go. So he'll never come on camera, though. He's like the guy.
I was just talking.
You weren't on camera.
Yeah, I moved your...
Oh, so everybody saw your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, you were on camera because they saw your hand. Oh, my gosh. Thank you all for being here. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative and let me know I'm coming across loud and clear, preferably with VV Nation. And yes, I got my coffee. Joey got me another coffee. He's got one shot of espresso. One shot, so. For all those people who are brand new, welcome to the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. Hit the bell icon so you'll be alerted to all the new content. This is not the only thing that we do here on YouTube. We have a lot of videos out there. Go check them out. A lot of videos about a lot of stocks that are very interesting in the news. And I try to give a lot of backstory behind the stocks to let you know, give you an idea if it's something that you're interested in getting into or not. My job is not to sway you one way or the other. My job is to give you the news behind it and help you to utilize the VectorVest software to make better decisions. That's what we do. Notice that there's a lot of people in here that says that are saying VV Nation. If there's a lot of people out there who are not part of the channel or not part of VV Nation, talk to some of those people out there. I love that my VV Nation will talk to anybody out there who has any inclination about wanting to join VectorVest. And I will give you an opportunity to take advantage of the software. I'm going to show you a lot of flexibility in the software, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to take advantage of the software. 30 days, 99 cents. If you want to, fine, you do it. If you don't and you like coming to the channel, that's fine as well. I'm not here to sell you anything, but I'm here to give you opportunities, all right? And Jay says this stuff really works. Way to go. Let the VV Nation talk to you, folks. Let the VV Nation talk to you. So what do we do here at VectorVest or at Trending Thursday? We look at stories or stocks that are making the news. We also talk about the market, what's going on in the market, and how to navigate getting through the market. We always start off with how to navigate during the market and whether the market's bullish or bearish. And I'm not afraid to tell you when the market is bearish. And I will show you how to use the VectorVest software in a bearish market. All right. So again, all my new folks that are here, think about subscribing to the channel. Number two, I'm going to challenge everybody out there. Share this live link on your social circles. Invite somebody. Invite somebody to the channel. Invite somebody to this live stream right now. I challenge everybody out there to invite someone to the channel right now. All right, share it. Share it, and you never know. You might change somebody's life in understanding how to trade the market. To get the 30-day trial, go to www.vectorvest.com/YT. All right, stands for YouTube. Joey will put a link in there. Actually, if you look in the description, there should already be a link. There you go. If you look in the description, you should see a link to get the 30-day trial. All right, and there you go. All right, so with that, Facebook to the moon. Oh gosh, so Maria is talking about Facebook. I'm going to talk a little bit about Facebook, I think, today. If not, we're going to look at it at the end. At the end, I will give you an opportunity to look at any stock that you want and analyze it in VectorVest. All right, so I will talk about that as well. All right, let's do this. Let's get into our first story. All right, our first story, we always talk about what's going on in the market. I'm going to start off with our first story. And our first story is looking at the Fed talked during this week. And the Fed says they're going to hold steady on interest rates and bond purchases. So as as they buy bonds, they buy up the debt, they buy, and all that kind of stuff. But they're going to keep interest rates low. I still have a problem with that. All right. And I've been talking about that for a minute. The Fed keeps saying that they're going to keep the interest rates low where they are. And that's in trying to buoy the economy. The economy is rocking and rolling. All right. And when you get a rocking and rolling economy, what happens? Prices go up. When prices go up, that causes inflation. The Fed keeps saying that inflation is still in line. Well, folks, when you go to the store and you buy food, when you go to the gas station like Joey did today when we went to lunch and fill up your vehicle, you're paying more money. Prices are rising, but that is the outcome of a robust economy. Prices go up. And I keep saying over and over again, inflation is becoming a bigger problem than the Fed wants to admit to. All right. Now, do they have the wherewithal to keep interest rates low, even if inflation is going up? We shall see. I think that inflation is going to cause interest rates to rise faster than what the Fed is telling us. So I'm just putting that out there from that perspective. My next story on the market, U.S. economy grew at 6.46% annual rate in the first quarter. The economy grew 6.4%. That's an economy that's rocking and rolling. It's going to cause inflation. It's going to happen. All right, it's going to happen. And last but not least, what is the Fed's job besides interest rates? And is jobs. Unemployment claims fell to 553,000 in the latest week. People are working. Well, there's a lot of people not working because, and I've said this as well, this is another tip from Glenn, a lot of people are not incentivized to go back to work because of the stimulus. Unemployment still gets a bump up while people are out of work. And you know something interesting true life story. People are looking for people to work, right? And in order to keep your unemployment, what do you have to do? You have to prove that you're going out looking for a job. And what's happening, and this is something that I've heard from more than one person, is that people sign up to come in for an interview, they don't show up, or they show up and they're not interested. Why? Because they want to stay on the unemployment. But they've got to prove that they're looking for a job, and that's what's going on. So I'm keeping that in mind as well. But that's my other side of it. But unemployment claims fall to 553,000. So more and more people are going back to work. I'd like to see, again, more and more people go back to work as well. People are not collecting unemployment, says, who says that? Irwin says, would inflation affect the price of gold? Prices go up. What affects the price of gold is the dollar. All right, I've said that in here as well. It is the dollar that affects the price of gold. As the dollar gets weaker, people move over to gold. As the dollar is stronger, people will move away from gold. All right. So I'm putting that out there. We're going in the right direction, says Robert. I don't disagree with that. I love that the market is going higher, but there are repercussions. This downside of that is as the market goes higher, prices go up. So if you keep that in mind, I want you guys to be well informed in understanding what's going on behind the scenes. All right. As the market goes up and the economy grows, prices go higher. What moves oil? Trucks, says JJ. I'm going to put you in timeout. And Chris got his cup. Guess what? Who was the other person that just got their cup? We got a picture of? With a K. Oh, man. Kissane? Are you here? Somebody else sent us a picture with their cup, which was kind of cool. Somebody sent a picture with their cup, and I'm happy that they got it. All right. I think it was Kissane. I don't have the email sitting right here, Joey. Sigh. Why did my mug have lipstick on it, Glenn? Jay, don't worry about that. Just drink it. All right. So with that, let's get into, we got stories behind what's going on in the market. Let's see how the market responds to that. I'm going to open up the software. And we always start off at the home page of our VectorVest software. Again, folks, if you do not have the VectorVest software, www.vectorvest.com/YT. 99 cents gets you a 30-day trial. All right. John says, I wish I had a cup. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. But you know something? Look down below this video. We got a VectorVest store. You can buy your own cup and you can buy your own T-shirt. Joey, I'm going to give away a cup today. All right. You okay with that? Joey didn't like that. But I'm going to give away a cup today. I'm going to give away a mug. Don't type mug in the room. Don't do it. All right, if you type mug in the room, I'm not going to put you in for the cup. If you type mug in the room, I'm not putting you in for the cup. All right. So on the market on our homepage, we can see what the indices are doing. And you know, something that's indicative of a market hitting a top or getting close to a top is markets that are mixed on a day-over-day basis. All right, when the market really can't make up its mind which direction it wants to go. Now, recently we saw that the market has gone up and broke through the most recent highs in the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P, and also on our VectorVest composite. But when we get close to a toppy market, and I talk about a toppy market because what goes up must come down. And as I get into the market timing graph in a moment, you're going to see that the market is getting to a point where it's getting tired. It can't go up forever. We have our color guard over here as well. We use it like a traffic light. What's the main color you see? Yellow. What does that mean for you as an investor right now? To be cautious in your investments. Whether you're long-term or short-term, be vigilant in your trades. The market starts off good in the morning and then turns back around. The market starts off bad in the market and turns back around. All of these characteristics are indicative of a market getting tired or a market getting ready to hit a top. All right, so as I look at this, I'm going to go to my watch list of stocks. I'm going to go to my watch list of stocks, go to viewers, go to watch list viewer. Let's go to Trending Thursday. Let's go find today's list of stocks for 29-21. So today we're going to be looking at, what is it, 16, 17 stocks. Joey's making a face. I don't even have to look at it. I know he's making a face going, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, notice that as I look at them all. Huh? 8,000. What, we want to look at all 8,000 stocks? All right, Joey wants me to look at all 8,000 stocks. We're going to be here for a minute. This is what's for you. All right, so here's my 17 stocks that I'm going to look at today. The big thing is when we look at stocks in our VectorVest watch list, they're automatically sorted by our master indicator VST. So the stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing rise to the top of the list. We're going to get into LPX, but let's go look at the two stocks that I use for a market timing perspective. If you are not a subscriber to the VectorVest software, we're going to use the S&P 500 or the spiders. And if you are a subscriber to the software, we're going to use our indicator called the VVC, which looks at the movement of over almost 8,700 stocks. We feel that this is a better representation of the broad market movement. I have them both highlighted. Let's go look at their graphs. And let's go see. So we got the news about what's going on with what the Fed is doing. Let's put this on a 3-month graph. What the Fed is doing in regards to interest rates. We know that the market is moving up. We know that jobs are getting better. Less people are filing for unemployment. Here's the S&P 500 over the last 3 months. Why do I look at 3 months? Because earnings happens every quarter. I always want the earnings picture in a graph when I look at a graph. But here's the S&P 500 moving up, moving up. I've got a level, and I want you to see this. I got a level of resistance right about here. All right, I'm going to put it right about at this level of 418.72. That's just a guesstimation looking at the graph. Notice what happened today. Market's price went up, but look at the candle. The candle is closed. That means the open price at 420.32. The price right now is at 419.04. The price from the open is lower. Today is telling me that this level of 418.72, which was a level of resistance, today is being tested as a level of support. What does that mean for you right now? Again, you saw all of that yellow on the color guard. It's telling you to be vigilant, be careful in the plays that you take right now. The market is moving higher, S&P moving higher by way of RT. Watch volume, though. Volume is conviction. Look at the move of the market, and I'm going to draw this on here. Look at the move of the market by way of trend line. Look at volume. Interesting. These are just things that I want to bring to your attention. Make this a little darker. These are just things that I want to bring to your attention so that you guys are prepared. All right? I'm not telling you to run for the hills, head for the hills. I am telling you that the market is getting tired. I'm telling you the market is at a level where it's starting to look for a top. All right? How else do I know that? I'll show you in a second. Let's go to the VVC. Same kind of scenario. Look at the market moving higher. All right, we got, oops. What did I just do? Joey, why did you do that? All right, let's go move that down. There's the trend of the market, higher lows. Let's make that a little darker so that you can see it. and look at volume. From the same perspective, look at that volume. The market is losing steam as far as conviction is concerned, where the market's moving higher, volume's moving lower. Both of these are what we call bearish divergence. Folks, all I want you to do is just be prepared. That's all, nothing more, nothing less. We've got 2 videos out, one by Patrick and one by myself, talking about getting ready for a market turnover. All right, Patrick did a video looking at the Russell 2000 and the signs that it's showing that the market could be turning around. And then I did a video talking about, are you prepared? And I showed you a means of looking and getting ready with contra ETFs, whether they're non-leverage, double leverage, or triple leverage, depending on how you want to invest in the market. Now, go away in May may really hold true this year. All right. And I think it's from the standpoint the market is moving higher. I think sell in May and go away may really be the real deal this year. It doesn't happen every year. Didn't happen last year, did it? Well, it's just because we were rebounding from the pandemic. But I think go away, sell in May and go away is going to be a real situation this year. Just keep that in mind. All right, just keep that in mind. All right, a lot of stuff going in here. A lot of you guys talking to yourself, Glenn, I'll send you a mug if you return my email. Mike, I saw your email. I'm working on it. I got a lot of folks. You guys get hold of my email address, and everybody and their mama sends me an email. Mike, I got you. I just need to work on it. I just need to. Mug, huh? We're gonna need that mug. We're gonna need. Oh, you're gonna send me the mug? Is that what? Is not Mike said? Mike says he's gonna. Glenn, I'll send you a mug. All right. I'll take the mug. We need that mug. All right. So I'm just setting you up to let you know by way of either the VVC or the S&P 500, we are experiencing a bearish divergence. When is it going to happen? Don't know. Just let the market come to you. All right. We like you. I emailed you as well, waiting for a reply. Really? See, Joey, I need Joey, would you be my assistant and help me with all these emails? He does help me with a lot. All right. So from this perspective, does anybody have any questions about what's going on in the market right now and how to best take advantage of it? This is my guidance. Manage your stocks. If you're in stocks and you've made money, don't be afraid to take it off the table or take some off the table and lock in profits. If you're looking to get in the market, I'm going to say right now, any trade that you take will be a trade, not a longer-term investment. Now, you may have some stocks that you have as long-term investments. That's fine. If the market really does prove itself as turning over, you might want to put on some option plays to protect that stock if you don't want to get out of it. All right. My mama ain't sending you an email. So I said, everybody ain't their mama. All right. Well, John said his mama's not sending. IWM looks like a head and shoulders, and I think that's a lot of what Patrick talked about in his video, the one graph that you need to see. All right, if you haven't looked at it yet, go to our YouTube channel. He did a really good job with IWM, getting you prepared for a possible pullback in the market, and then my video talking about are you prepared? Look at those 2 videos together. You guys will be prepared if the market does go down. Brian says, should I be investing in gold or stocks or crypto? That's up to you. I'm not a fan of gold, haven't been a fan of gold all year due to the dollar. Crypto is still a speculative space. If you're going to get into crypto, understand you shouldn't put a large amount of money behind it. Stocks is probably the better way to go, but with what's given right now with the market's conditions, be careful about any new positions you get into. All right, be careful with any new positions to get into. Rob says, based on the chart, if it downturns, where would you guess support might be? Ooh, I've got 2 levels of support. My first level of support, if the market pulls back on the VVC, is sitting at $63.95, about $3. My next level of major support is really sitting at the value of $59.55. That probably would be correction territory on the VVC. I think that this might be a little bit of a pullback. I'm not sure of a big pullback, but this, I believe, 59, 69. I'm thinking that might be close to more correction territory. Does that help you? Who asked me that question? Rob, does that help you? That's from a VectorVest perspective. That would be my major level of support sitting at 59.55. All right. Crypto stocks, again, still are speculative plays. They can make you some money real quick, but they can lose you some money real quick. Is a correction more likely? You know, I don't know. In my thinking, we are due for a correction. But with everything that the Fed is doing, I think we might only get a pullback. I think right now the market is poised for a correction. So I'm putting that out there. Oil, regardless of stock direction and contras if the market turns. And oil could be setting up. I'll probably do a story on Trending Thursday on oil. Oil is setting up for a big run. Why? Because we don't have the oversupply that we had last year. So oil is setting itself up for a big run. And help me remember that next week we probably need to do an oil story. All right, so I'm thinking next week we're going to do an oil story. Why is copper going up? Building is up, and a lot of copper is used for piping and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, copper's going up because building's going up, and we're going to talk about building as well. Okay, we're going to talk about building as well. All right, so that's my story on the market. I'm going to close out of this graph. I'm going to get to my next story. All right, let's get to my next story. Thank you for the questions. I appreciate that. Where are the 5 ARK ETFs going? I don't know, Tim. I was going to do a story on ARK, but it doesn't seem like on YouTube, a whole bunch of people have already done stories. It seems like nobody's interested in a new story on ARK, so I'm not going to probably put out a story. I will only put out stories on people on stuff that people are really interested in. All right, and right now, I don't think as many people are interested in ARK right now. All right, so let's get to my next story. Does anybody know, and a lot of my VectorVest people, all my VV Nation's going to know, what's the fastest moving industry right now? Anybody? Type it in the room. What's the fastest moving industry right now? No, it ain't construction. It's not the fastest one. Anybody? Nope. Oil is not it. Nope. No, building is not the fastest. Building is the second fastest. Building is the second fastest.
Retail.
It's trying to listen to me. Glenn, can you say? I don't know what that is. Nope. Interesting. All right, so fine. Before I get into the next story, I'm going to show you how easily the VectorVest software is going to show you how you can find out what the fastest moving industries are. I'm going to go to the unit search tool, and there it is. Badger's got it. Badger's the one that's got it. Out of everybody in here, Badger's the only one who's got it. Let me show you how Badger knows. I'm going to go to Delta Searches Industries. All right, I can do a 10-day price delta on industries. All right, and I did this as of yesterday, so I'm going to set this up for the close of business yesterday. I ran this yesterday, right? If I double-click on the 10-day price delta on all of the industries, all right, let's go see what's the number one industry over the last 10 days by price. As I double-click, the only one that got it was Badger. Holy smokes, why is it taking so long to load up? So, I'm going to tell a joke. A horse comes into a bar. The bartender says, why such a long face? All right. Something happened. Between yesterday's data and today, let's go do this. I'm going to bring it up to today. That's interesting. Now I feel like an idiot. I'm going to run it again. 10-day price delta on industries is still not it. Dag nabbit. And when I ran this yesterday, anything happens between the market, at the time that I ran it and the market close, I did run it as of yesterday. And then it changed. Anyway, hush up. The fastest moving industry that I had over the last 10 days as of yesterday, at the time that I ran it, was retail major chains. How many people have seen my story on CTRM on YouTube? Type of me in the room. How many of you have seen my story on CTRM on YouTube? Look how fast this industry is running. 8% in the last 10 days. That is a hot industry. If you haven't looked at CTRM, it is a stock to just look at. It's a lower dollar stock. All right. Well, anywho, when I did run this to get my stories for today, it was retail. Major chains was the fastest moving industry over the last 2 weeks by 10-day price delta. The second fastest was building. So I decided to do stories on those two industries this week. And if I go back to my viewers tab, let's go to my next story. Let's do that. My next story is talking about retailers. All right, Amazon on track to beat Walmart as the biggest U.S. retailer by 2025. So we all know that Walmart is the biggest retailer brick and mortar. How about the online place? Amazon is on track to beat out Walmart as the biggest retailer by 2025. That's huge. That is huge. CTRM is also in a teacup-shaped 5-year uptrend, ready to break out, very bullish. All I'm telling you about CTRM, it is a low-dollar stock. But personally, I own it as one of the stocks that I've done a lot of stories. I've done 5 stories, 5 videos on CTRM over the last, year? And that stock is rocking and rolling. Again, I'm not trying to sway you. Just look at the information. Look at the video as an idea of stock to look at, all right? So I'm putting that out there. So Amazon, from a retail perspective, 2025, what's that, 4 years from now, Amazon's going to be the biggest retailer overall. They're already the biggest online, and then they're going to be the biggest to beat out the brick and mortar. Very interesting. Now, I've got another one. 3 retailers gaining on strong e-commerce platforms. All right, I want to get straight to those 3. Where are they at? Oops, did I pass them? I did. My 3 retailers that are big movers, Walmart, we just talked about. Target, how many people prefer Target over Walmart? I'm a Walmart fan. Which one do you like more? Joey says he likes Steinmart, so it doesn't play. Steinmarts are closing down all over the place. Your wife is at Target every day. All right. So, but Target, Walmart, and Best Buy. All right. These are 3 big retailers that are making improvements to their e-commerce. Everybody should be making improvements to their e-commerce. More and more people are ordering. Every day, somebody comes from Amazon to drop off something to my wife. Every day. And my wife was talking to the Amazon driver yesterday and says, do you ever hate when you see my name pop up? And he says, no. He says, I can always tell that the orders that you get are easy orders that I don't have to, that are not super heavy. And then she told him, he said, well, my husband says that I'm the one that keeps you in business. And he said, well, thank you for doing that. My wife orders something from Amazon every day. Every day something's coming to the house from Amazon. So, that's you and Patrick going back and forth? It popped up over here. Yeah. All right. So those are going to be my stocks along with the Amazon. Those are my stocks that I'm looking at in the retail space. So let's go find them. There's Target. There's Best Buy. There's Amazon. And what was my last one? Amazon, Walmart. Do I have Walmart in there? There's Walmart. Now remember, my listing of 17 stocks are sorted by our master indicator VST. Look at where Walmart sits compared to where Target sits. Out of the 17 stocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Target's number 6, Best Buy number 7, Amazon number 8. Notice that my retail stocks are all together with the exception of Walmart. All right, this industry is rocking and rolling. One of the fastest moving industries over the last 2 weeks by way of price. Let's take a look at these stocks, all right? Right click, view the stock graph. Let's go see if I'm deciding on which ones I want. All right, as far as in this space, Target's moving. I like that. Bottom left, top right, big pullback. RT is telling me the Target's in an uptrend. How about today, from a trading perspective, the 3 and the 8 exponential moving average just crossed. Well, let's slow this down a little bit. Let's move it from a trading graph to a swing trade. Now I'm going to look at the 20-day exponential moving average, earnings per share, earnings growth rate, sales, and sales growth. How about Target, for the most part, even on the pullback, has stayed above that 20-day exponential moving average. This is more of a swing trade or a longer-term play. How about volume has been pretty steady? Look at the rising earnings per share. Look at the rising earnings per share. I like that. Look at the rising earnings growth rate. Not only are they growing not only are they making money, earnings per share is going higher, but they're growing it. And they're growing it at a clip of 20% a year. Target as a retailer looks really good. All right, Target as a retailer looks really good. Do we have anyone using RoboTrader and Profit Locker connected to a broker? If you're asking in the room, Greg, let's see who answers you, but I know we do. All right, I would rather buy local small chain groceries. And Bill, I'm not against that. Remember, I'm looking at the major chains and what they're doing based upon the analysis that it's one of the fastest moving industries. So that's what I'm concentrating on. But I agree with you. Nothing wrong with supporting local, especially now. Nothing wrong with supporting local. All right. So let's go to the next one that I got here. Best Buy, sitting in a little bit of a channel with a resistance level of 123 and a support level of 113. A good $10 channel. And as the stock is moving sideways, moving averages don't work best in a sideways moving stock, but it does work when a stock is trending higher or when a stock is trending lower. Earnings per share is about even than what it was 3 months ago. Earnings growth rate is a little higher than it was 3 months ago. Watch sales growth. Sales growth is declining. What is the lifeblood behind every company? Sales. All right, right now, Best Buy, with the falling sales growth, Best Buy sitting in a channel. Looks like, for me, Target may be a little bit of better play. Let's go to Amazon. Man, Amazon had a little dip back here, but everybody's sending stuff off by e-commerce. Amazon is still the big player there. All right, they broke above a level of resistance, sitting at a level of 3,434. Broke above, still above, even with today's candle. Look at the wick right at that level of support of 34.97. I still think nicely above the 20-day. Look at the volume. There's conviction behind it. Earnings, rising earnings growth. I like Amazon as well. And the last one is Walmart. As much as I like Walmart, it's having a hard time getting above a level of 141.73. I like that it's above the 20-day exponential moving average, but having a hard time breaking above that level. Watch earnings per share is starting to fall. Earnings growth starting to fall. Keep that in mind when you're looking at these retailers. I like the big up day today, nicely above that 20-day exponential moving average, but this has got to show me that it can break above that level of resistance before I feel more comfortable in it. So as I look at these stocks, Amazon looks good and Target looks good out of those retailers. All right. Anybody have any questions about my retail stocks? Anybody have any questions about my retail stocks? Can you make area graph for other indicator? I can view the stock graph. I believe they were. Target, put it on 3 month. I can always put them all. Earnings per share, right click, change type area. Earnings per share. Oh, I just did that one. Earnings growth, right click, change type area. I'll leave just those two on area so you can see them a little better. All right. Amazon stock would do better, in my opinion, if they did a stock split. Well, I don't know if that's on the table or not. Didn't they split once, or did they never split? Let's go put this on a 5-year graph of Amazon. Did they ever split? No, I got no splits. Amazon never split. No, nobody. Amazon never split. And you know something? If you split, you can get more people in the stock, but maybe they don't need to. Look at on the 5-year graph. That shows the picture a lot more clearer that Amazon is sitting in that channel. That's a beautiful level of resistance that Amazon's got to break out of. Yeah, I know, Mike. I'm looking. I got splits on. Take me off. No, never mind. I got splits on, and I don't see any splits on here. You got it. All right. So I got no split on it. All right. Any other questions on my retail stocks? All right, so retail is the fastest moving industry over the last 2 weeks by price. All right, If there's no questions, get to my next story, which is going to show me the second fastest moving industry over the last 10 days by price. Wood building. 3 wood building stocks to buy as a U.S. housing starts rebound. All right, so now I go down. Where's my 3? Story continues. Where's my 3? There we go. Here they are. Boise Cascade Company, BCC. Louisiana Pacific Corporation. For those of you who are in the Jockey Club, we are in that stock. LPX has been on a run, folks. Holy smokes. LPX has been on a run, and another stock, UFPI. All right, these are 3 stocks that in this story are 3 stocks to consider during this market boom right now in the housing. So let's go straight to the software. Let's bring them up. Woo! The top 3 stocks in my list. And this is the second fastest moving industry. But when I analyze these stocks, looking at the combination of value, safety, and timing, these are the top 3 stocks in the list. Is anybody investing in any of these stocks? Let me know. Is anybody investing in any of these stocks? And if you're not, I'm going to tell you, you need to consider them. All right, so with that, as you type that in, let's analyze these stocks. Remember, we give a value for every stock in here, an intrinsic value of what we feel the stock is worth. Notice that all 3 of these stocks are under their value. That is a good thing. Notice that LPX, a lot of people are saying LPX, that is at the top of the list. And another good ETF, as Eli is talking about, NAIL. NAIL is great. If you want to take advantage of the whole industry without looking at individual stocks to get into, NAIL is a good way to trade the whole industry. All right, so all 3 of these are undervalued. All 3 of these have good upside potential as compared to a AAA corporate bond. This indicator relative value shows me the stock's ability to outpace the market or AAA corporate bonds. Each one of these stocks should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 50% or more. These are good long-term plays. These are safe stocks. Relative safety is an indicator of risk. And all of these stocks are going up. All of these stocks have positive earnings and growing them in double digits. Folks, this is a great class of stocks. If you're not already in them, let's take a look, see if it's too late. But the second fastest moving industry, I'm looking at 3 really good stocks in that space. Look at LPX. LPX is just killing it, folks. Just killing it. Bottom left, top right, not a lot of volatility. Is it okay to be in it? Look at this, though. 3 days right at the level of resistance of $70.90. So what do we talk about? What could be happening in the market? The market could be getting tired. Stocks like LPX could be getting tired as well. Just keep that in mind. The direction of the market affects 80% of the stocks in the market. If the market starts to get tired, even stocks like LPX will start to get tired. So just keep that in mind. I love the equity curve. I love the earnings and the earnings growth. They all look great. But the market's got to keep moving it higher. The market's getting tired. If you own LPX and you say to yourself, should I take my money off the table? If I like this long term, I put this on a 1-year graph. I love this stock on a 1-year graph. I love it long term. I wouldn't get rid of it. I would definitely play some option plays on it. All right, just set that down. Kartik, the last thing you want to do is if you continue putting that up there, you're going to get shut down for a minute. All right, don't do that, please. I can see you the first time when you put that up there. All right, but don't do that, please. All right, I love the stock over the last year. Beautiful equity curve, beautiful earnings per share, beautiful growth. Just watch it right now. All right, keep your eyes on that. Put it back on a 3-month. What else is in here? UFPI, bottom left, top right, moving. This industry is moving the stocks higher. But again, UFPI is sitting at a level of a high at 86.05. It needs to break through that before it continues to move higher. Wow, BCC, bottom left, top right, same scenario. Watch the sideways move. It's got to break above that level of resistance. All right, and those are those 3 stocks in that industry. There's a lot more stocks in there, but I brought to your attention 3 of them that made that story. SafeMoon, we do not track. crispy clean. We do not track it, so I can't talk a lot about it. Yes, I heard their earnings will be dope. Well, we'll see. I don't know when earnings is going to come out on the stock. And they haven't released exactly when they're going to come out. But man, I love all three of these stocks. I love all three of these stocks in an industry that's booming. And LPX is my main stock of choice. All right, RVP makes syringes, of course. Well, that's another stock that I've talked about on our YouTube channel before. There's a shortage of wood mills to cut timber. Well, you know something? I haven't seen a specific story on it slowing down yet, but I will look into that. I will definitely look into that. All right? All right. So anybody have any questions about my building story? I love that these three stocks happen to be the best in my watch list of stocks. Happen to be the best watch list of stocks. What do y'all think? Remember, right now, I'm not looking at individual stocks just quite yet. So as you type them in, I'm not going to look at them just quite yet. If you got questions on the stories, that's what I'm looking for. Not on individual stocks yet. All right, not on individual stocks yet. All right, let's get to my next story then. My next story, of course, deals with coronavirus. Coronavirus is a story that I look at every week. This caught my attention. India's coronavirus toll topped after record surge in cases. A customer of ours sent me a PDF that talked about the U.S. trying to do what it can to help India in controlling the coronavirus. All right, so they're going to send materials needed for their machines to make the vaccine. So, but that's a big story that's taking place in regards to the coronavirus world. All right. Real quick, what's the intrinsic value of LPX? The intrinsic value of LPX, we have it as 107.36. Erwin, guess what? If you had the trial for 99 cents for 30 days, you'd be able to pull that up at a moment's notice. But that's our intrinsic value on LPX right now, and it's trading at 68.53. We have a value of 107.36. So I'm just putting that out there. All right, let me go back to the story. All right, but again, that's not what I needed. 99 cents gets you a 30-day trials. KH, you guys I'm going to, as you start putting stocks in here, as I keep telling you, I'm not looking at them individually yet. I'm going to start to not pay attention to that. I try to answer everybody's questions up there, but if you're putting in stocks now, I'm not going to respond. I'm just putting that up there, all right? I'm not going to respond. Next story in the coronavirus. CDC, Pfizer, Moderna, COVID vaccines, 94% effective at preventing hospitalizations, which I think is important. So as we look at that, those are the two main stocks that we have out there, as well of Johnson & Johnson. I don't think it's back online in the U.S. I think it is back online in Canada and the U.K. I don't believe that it's back online in the United States. And the big thing about that is, people were liking the Johnson & Johnson because it's a one-stock deal. Guess what? Another stock that, go check it out, Tonex Pharmaceutical, TNXP. They are working in their pipeline of drugs for a drug that's even takes less handling than Johnson & Johnson. All right, go check it out. Go check out the story on our YouTube channel, TNXP. I've done 3 stories on it. It's a drug to keep an eye on. It's a drug that's aggressively going after fibromyalgia that no other drug is doing. No other pharmaceutical is going after fibromyalgia. And now they just stepped up their game by looking at getting stronger in the coronavirus field. All right, so please just come take a look at that. So Pfizer and Moderna, 94% effective at preventing hospitalizations in elderly. And my last story, Moderna to boost COVID-19 vaccine production to meet rising global demand. Not rising demand, but rising global demand, which I think is awesome. So Moderna's out there. This has always been my favorite stock of choice on the corona space. So I'm loving that they're stepping up. to put out more, not only for the United States, but for global demand, and hopefully that will also help in the India situation. All right, let's go take a look at these stocks. All right, what am I looking at? Moderna, the fourth best stock by value, safety, timing in the list. So we're going to look at Moderna. Johnson & Johnson, which again is not ready back in the U.S. yet. Where's my Pfizer? Is those the only three? Yep, those are my only three. Let's go take a look at them. Notice again that Moderna is number 4 on the list out of 17, and Pfizer's at the bottom. Let's go view the stock graph. Put this on a 3-month graph. Look at that. Moderna moving up, broke through a level of resistance, nicely above the 20 exponential moving average. It's got another level of resistance to get through at 189.26, but I love the bounce off of this level of support. Bouncing up, breaking through the 20-day, breaking through resistance, and now testing the former level of resistance of 171.36 as a current level of support. Let's see if it can stay up. And maybe that news that it's pushing out more drugs or more vaccine across the globe can help it to move higher as well. Look at the earnings per share and the earnings growth. Next stock, Johnson & Johnson. You know it took a hit. That makes sense. It took a hit when the whole blood clot thing came out. Now, nice up day today. Nice up day today, breaking above that level of resistance. Earnings per share is about on par where it was 3 months ago. Earnings growth rate is rising. Sales are rising. Just keep your eye on that. I still want the news to tell me that it's coming back to the United States off of pause. I got a great level of resistance sitting at 167.87, but nice up day today. If you decide to take it, buy it 12 cents higher than the high. That's my first level of profit taking at 167.87 if you decide to take it. Nice up day today. And then the last one, Pfizer. Pfizer did a nice little bounce off a level of support. Let's go draw a line here. Beautiful bounce off support right here. Went back above the 20-day exponential moving average. And recently, with the most recent pullback, look at that. Stayed above the 20-day exponential moving average. Pulling back now, starting to move sideways, but still above the 20-day exponential moving average. Watch the earnings per share. So people are asking me, why, if Pfizer's the first one to come out, why is it not doing well? Look at the earnings per share. The earnings per share has been falling precipitously. Earnings growth is flat. Sales is flat. Sales growth is flat. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. Keep that in mind. All right, so those are my 3 stocks on the coronavirus, with Moderna at the top, Pfizer at the bottom, J&J right about in the middle of the list. Does anybody have any questions about it? Is Glenn's best stock Moderna or Apple? Apple. Apple overall is my best stock in the whole wide world. Oh, yes. Moderna is my favorite stock in the coronavirus space. All right, in the coronavirus space. Does anybody have any questions on my coronavirus stocks? So quick question. Can I access what you are in a browser on my Mac instead of the app on the phone? Infectious digital media. If you have a Mac, I have a Mac everything. I can access the VectorVest software in my Mac, and there's a way to do it. If you're interested, call out product support or go to our main website and do a chat with one of the people that we have in chat. They will talk to you about that. All right, they will talk to you about that. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions on my coronavirus stuff? Going once, going twice. If Apple is the best, why it sold off? Because it does. So what? If I think it's the best, it sells off for whatever the reasons it sold off. It beat earnings. I don't know if the forward guidance was there. And understand, when I say it's the best to me. Joey may not think that it's the best. It's the best to me. Everybody in the room knows that I love me some Apple, but I'm not in love with Apple. All right. Glenn, you mentioned Jockey Club. Can you say what it is and what it does? Our Jockey Club is for people who have the real-time subscription. And it's an additional module. It is a trading. This is what it looks like. That's what the Derby looks like. And out of all of the searches that we have in the software, it will bring to the forefront what searches are working the best today. The Jockey Club is a day trading room. And with today's activity, the best search that we have that's tracked in the Jockey Club is a shorting search. Here's the 10 stocks that it looks at and what the equity curve of this stocks looks like. If you are a trader and you want to take advantage of what's working for you today, at any given point in time throughout the day, that's what the Derby is all about. And the Jockey Club happens every morning, starting at 9 and ending at 10:30. All right, and starting at 10:30. All right, let's go back to my stocks. Any other questions on my coronavirus stuff? Oop, going once, going twice, 3 times, sold to Glenn Tompkins. All right, let's get to my last story. Earnings. You know we're in earnings season, right? So I wanted to take a look at some of the earnings stories this week, both the hits and the misses. All right, both the hits and the misses. Is this the misses? Sounds like I said my wife. The misses. The misses. All right, so I've got 5 stocks from this week, both hits and misses. Ford expects to lose half of Q2 production amid chip shortage. Japan supplier fire. Supplier fire. Chips has been a major issue in the market. And I saw a story that the bit miners, that the crypto miners were buying up all of the chips for their machines. I can't corroborate that for sure, but I think that I saw something along those lines. I'll look into it. So that was Ford. Ford beat Wall Street's expectations for the first quarter, but said it expects the chip shortage to decrease its earnings by $2.5 billion in 2020. That's huge. All right, so there's another company out there I've done a video on called Nano Dimensions, NNDM, 3D company, and they're trying to see if they can make 3D versions of these chips. Folks, there's a lot of info that we have out there on our YouTube channel that you got to check out. All right, But that's a big hit because of the chip shortage. What else? Boeing. Boeing posts a 6th consecutive quarterly loss, expects turning point in 2021. So if you're a Boeing fan, Boeing is saying itself that they're not looking for a turnaround until later in this year. Boeing took a $318 million charge on problems in its Air Force One program after reporting supplier issues. Boeing said it expects 2021 to be a turning point as more people are vaccinated against COVID-19. All right, what else? Google. Alphabet reports big earnings beat as revenue grows 34%. Good, googly muggly. Do I have that? What is that? Good, googly muggly. Excuse me. For a company like Alphabet, that's a big jump in number. Alphabet reported big beats on earnings and revenue for Q1. And after it reported, it rose more than 4% in the after-hours trading. Another one, I got Starbucks right here. Starbucks shares fall despite higher forecasts as investors worry about international growth. So you know that Starbucks is all over the place, but you know, I'm wondering if globally, if people, I don't know. So let me see. The company topped Wall Street earnings estimate, but its quarterly revenue fell short of expectations. There we go. U.S. same-store sales rose 9%, returning to pre-pandemic levels. So people should be getting back out, getting your Starbucks coffee. I'm not drinking Cafe Bustelo today, but drinking your Starbucks coffee. I would keep my eye on that, all right? And my last stock, how about this? UPS revenue tops estimates as pandemic drives e-commerce deliveries. So, you know, Amazon puts out their trucks, but you guess what? A lot of Amazon stuff comes in the USPS from the regular mail and UPS and FedEx. I think Amazon is helping all of these. You know that I'm sure they don't have enough drivers to put out all of their stuff. So they have to use UPS, they have to use FedEx, they have to use USPS to get some of their stuff done. But UPS revenue, because e-commerce, and Amazon is not the only e-commerce. My wife orders, instead of having to go to the store, she orders directly from a lot of the retail chains. All right. United Parcel Service topped Wall Street estimates for quarterly revenue on Tuesday. The world's biggest parcel delivery company benefited from a surge in online purchasing during the COVID-19 pandemic. There you go. Starbucks China goes, a new store every 15 hours for 5 years. Is that what you're saying, Rich? NNDM 5-year teacup pattern. I'm still a fan. I like nanodynamics, and I did a couple of stories on nanodynamics. UPS is way better than FedEx. I hear that. And USPS delivery is the worst of the bunch. I don't disagree with that as well. You go regular mail, man, you put your life in your hands and getting that package there. All right, so let's go take a look at these stocks. Let's go see where they sit in the list. There's UPS right in the middle of the list. What else? Ford is here too. Let's hold on. Starbucks, Boeing, Ford. I'm missing one. Google. Look at that. Out of the companies that miss or beat earnings, Google is the number one out of the 5. All right, where it's number 5 in the list. Number 5 in the list. UPS down the list, Starbucks, Boeing, and Ford. I figured that Boeing would be even worse than Ford, but they're very close as far as VST is concerned. All right, let's highlight them all. Let's view the stock graph. Put this on the 3-month graph. Wow, look at that jump. I wonder if that was earnings. That was the earnings call. Yep, they beat earnings, and look at that pump up the volume. Look at that. Wow. UPS, look at that bump up right at that level of support sitting at 175.32. Earnings came out and bang. Say that, Joey.
Bang.
There you go. And man, it took off like, where is that? It took off like a plane. Look at that. That's a nice move. Could you still get into this stock? I'm going to say if you get 12 cents higher than the high, I would consider getting into it. I like the stock. All right. I like that stock, and I cannot lie. Watch earnings per share, though. Very interesting. The company may be going up in price, but earnings per share is falling. Just be careful with that, all right? Let's go to the next one, Starbucks. Bottom left, top right, for the most part of the 3 months, it stayed above the 20-day exponential moving average. There's the earnings. It fell. Look how quickly it rebounded, folks. I still like Starbucks. Look how quickly it rebounded back above the 20-day exponential moving average. Is it a good time to get in? 12 cents higher than the high. Profit target, I would say, is at 118. Or if you want more confirmation before you get into it, wait and see if it can break above that. All right, next stock in the list. Woo, Boeing. But we all know what happened with Boeing with the plane crashes. They're still trying to get past that. But they said to wait. Look at the earnings per share on the stocks just steadily falling. Boeing is probably not the right play yet. I'd wait to see if it can break out of these levels. A level of resistance sitting at 244, a level of resistance sitting at 259, a 3-month level of resistance sitting at 278. But interesting that the aerospace and defense space is moving. All right, that could help push Boeing higher, but we'll keep our eyes on that. All right, Boeing lost 98,000. Listen, Boeing is just tough. Boeing is a tough stock. I would look for a technical move on it more so than trying to play it long term. All right, Ford. That's a big channel. That's just a big channel. And I know that they beat, and that's fine. There's the earnings. They beat, but look at that pullback right there. Ends below the 20-day. I like the earnings. I don't like the earnings growth, but I do like the earnings. The volume picked up. Look at the big pullback on big volume. Not only did the stock fall, but it fell on big volume as well. Be careful with Ford. And the last one, Google. Man, what can you say about Google? There's its earnings play. These are all earnings plays. Look at that earnings play jump up. Right now, challenging a level of resistance, but clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Earnings and earnings growth is growing nicely. Is growing nicely. So those are all my stories. Does anybody have any questions in regards to my earnings story? 5 stocks, a couple of them hit, a couple of them miss. Anybody have any questions? Do you know an ETF that holds Amazon, Google, Apple? Yeah, and so on. It's called FNGU for the bullish side of those, and FNGD for the bearish side of those. I've done a story, Dimka. I did it a couple of weeks ago where we looked at FANG stocks. FANG stocks, the ETFs for FANG stocks are, again, are for the upside FNGU. If you want to play the whole ETF for all the FANG stocks to the upside or to the downside when they're going down, FNGD. Again, DIMCA. I just did a trending Thursday on it. All right. Anybody have any other questions in regards to my earnings story? NIO has earnings coming out after hours today. Why did Tesla go down when they reported? You asked me that question already once, KH. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the full story was. Did they beat earnings? Did they miss earnings? Was the forward guidance there? KH, I don't know. All right, unless I look at it in regards to it. All right, no, FANN, Eli, FANG. Let me put that in there. For the upside of the FANG stocks, FNGU. And that's for the upside. And for the downside, FNGD. That's how you play the FANG stocks as a ETF. As an ETF, you don't want to get into any one of those individually. All right? Pump up the jam. Pump up the jam. Pump it up while the music's thumping and the beat is pumping. The bumping. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, you're here for the entertainment factor as well. Tesla is so overvalued, it's not funny. And it's been that way, Mr. Honest. But you know something? It's a perception play. Tesla is definitely a perception play, and Elon Musk keeps them relevant. The tweets that he puts out, Elon Musk keeps Tesla relevant. There's no ifs, ands, or worry about it. All right, just keep that in mind. All right. If I were looking at, I'm going to do this real quick. If I were looking at the best stock in the list, LPX would be it. If I'm looking at all 17 stocks, LPX would be my stock of choice. It's undervalued, good upside potential, good safety, good timing. Everything is good about LPX. If I'm looking at one stock overall in the whole list, I like LPX. If I'm looking for the safest stock in the list, it would be UFPI in the building spot. So best overall is LPX. The best safe stock in the list is UFPI. If I'm looking for the fastest moving stock, LPX. And if I'm looking for the stock that's got the best growth, wow, Moderna. All right, I'm going to start doing this on a weekly basis, utilizing the rank analysis to give you an idea of, out of the list of stocks, which ones you should consider. Remember, I'm not a financial broker, so I cannot tell you what to do or what not to do. My job is to bring you the news. I think that sorting this list by our rank analysis, 99 cents, you can do this with your own software. If you had 99 cents, 30 days, I can pull and do the rank analysis on any stock out there. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Oh, is it time? It's time. All right. We're going to start to look at your stocks. I've already got a listing of stocks that I've been watching in the room. Type in your stocks as well. Joey will tell me what stocks to look at. All right. So, not yet, Joey. I'm going to type in some that I've been watching. I don't know if they're still here. You know, that sucks. All right. So, I'm going to put just this many. All right, go ahead, Joey.
Yo.
All right, Rio Tinto? Yeah.
All right.
I know.
DC.
Who? MDC, comma. NXPI. Go ahead.
GMBL.
GMBL. Okay. Costco.
Rush.
Oil. BC. Birth control. No. Go ahead.
OG.
You know, it's an oil stock. Yep.
DHM.
DHM.
P.
PHM. Pulte Homes. NTB. NOC. You done with NOC? That's in that's the same space where Boeing is. Look at all these people putting stocks in. Good gravy. TPO. Toilet paper? Oh, no.
Yes.
Apps, Digital Turbine.
CTXR.
CTXR. All right. For those of you who I did not put a stock in for, go to our free get a free stock analysis. Go to www.vectorvest.com/free to get a free stock analysis. Also find it down below in the description, a link for a free stock analysis. All right, so all of you people who are still putting in stocks, I'm not going to put them in here. Here's my stocks that between Joey and I that we have for today. Now, Tesla. Now, question kept coming up. If the earnings, well, after earnings, why did the stock's price go down? Does anybody understand what the story was with the earnings? So guess what? I don't know. But I'm going to click on the news. Let's go see if I got anything on it. How cool is that? NEO, that's NEO. That's got nothing to do with Tesla. ARK Invest to buy, blah, blah, blah. Tesla slips below 10% of Cathie Wood's flagship fund. Wondering if that's got something to do with it. Dow rallies 3 hours ago, Saudi Arabia, blah, blah, 3 hours ago. Tesla, $293 million of free cash flow in quarter one was an incredible year-over-year improvement. But I'm wondering, you want to know? I was going to do a story on NEO, on Tesla, that Tesla stayed in the black because they sold a lot of Bitcoin. Anybody else see that story? And I'm thinking that could have an effect on Tesla, that Tesla did what they did to stay in the black by selling a lot of Bitcoin. That it was there to hide that. Anybody? I'm just curious to know. Did anybody else hear that? That in order for Tesla to get into the black, they sold a lot of Bitcoin. So the question keeps coming out and saying, well, why did Tesla go down after that? I think a lot of people saw that story and was like, they were doing what they needed to do to stay in the black, that maybe they weren't as much in the black as what the story put out there. Is anybody on board with that? I saw the story. I was going to do a video on it, but I had so much going on. So for the person that keeps asking me 1,000 times, why is Tesla going down? I think that might have something to do with it. I'm thinking that it might have something to do with it, that's what kept them in the black for the reporting, is that they sold a lot of Bitcoin. Very interesting. Very interesting. And then when they sold the Bitcoin that they sold, because he probably had a lot of it, that affected the Bitcoin field, and Bitcoin started going down. All right, so, and there it is. Mohammed said the earnings gain was due to Bitcoin. So I think that had a lot to do with why Tesla was doing that. All right, so I'm putting that out there. Buy the rumors, sell the news. I hear you, man. They sold their Bitcoin. Listen, that sounds like a little talk right there. That he sold Bitcoin to show the liquidity. No. So that he didn't have to have the cash on the. Listen, I think what it did is it rose his bottom line. That's all I got to say. All right. Randy said they sold the small position. They sold 10% of what they held. And Randy, I don't know what that equates out to. But I'm thinking that it could have had an effect on it, Randy. All right. So somebody says Amazon grabbed up Bitcoin, 100 million KH. Man, that's a lot. And again, that money could be used to bolster the bottom line. All right. So Facebook earnings play. Look at that. And look at what the stock's price did. Nice gap up. I do like the bottom left, top right over the last 3 months. The stock's price did pull back. The 3.8 just crossed again. I got a little bit of a doji cross, a little bit of indecision, but a lot of bullish pressure with the big wick at the top, at the bottom of the candle. I like that. The bulls are pushing it up. Before I go on to the next stock, if you guys, especially if you haven't subscribed to the channel, like the content that you see here, please hit the subscribe button. Please do that. We do this every week. Please hit the subscribe button, folks. Oh, next Wednesday, Joey is right. Here on YouTube, next Wednesday at 2 p.m., we have a hot stock panel. We have a hot stock panel every month, once a month. Me, Steve Chappell, and Patrick France will be giving you 7 stocks, 7 hottest growth stocks with best combination of value, safety, and timing. I think the hottest growth stocks is ideal in this market situation. All right, so make sure you're here next Wednesday at 2 p.m. and then next Thursday at 2 p.m. we'll be here for Trending Thursday again. I do like Facebook. I'd like to see it take out its high. Earnings play, big volume. Volume is conviction. I like the move on it. I like to move it. Twitter, woo-wee. I look at Twitter and I go, I'm not sure I really like it. Coming off of that high, that hurts. Coming off that high. So, a good way from a swing trade perspective, let me switch this. Let me switch my graph layout to swing. There we go. A good swing trade scenario is when the stock's price falls below the 20-day exponential moving average. How about today, currently, right below that 20-day exponential moving average? Watch the earnings per share. Let me go put earnings per share, put that onto an area. Let's put on earnings growth, put that down to an area. Look at the earnings per share. Be careful with Twitter. All right, earnings came out today. Does it look like, or is it coming out today? Can anybody back me up on that? Is earnings coming out today, or did it already come out today? Type it in the room. 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 Actually, I can find the news on it. Let me go peep it out. I think it might have came out today. Facebook. I'm looking for Twitter. Wikipedia. This is supposed to be on Twitter, isn't it? It is supposed to be on Twitter. Coming out after market close. All right. Let me show you something about that. What is the probability that Twitter is going to meet or exceed earnings? Relative safety is above 1. It's got a high probability of beating earnings. All right. Not huge. It's just barely above 1. So keep that in mind. But I don't like the earnings per share. I don't like the stocks moving sideways. The volume is pretty steady. Just be careful with it. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Blame it on the rain. RFP, is that earnings coming out today or did it just come out? And if earnings are coming out today on RFP, 2 things. The price today is below the 20-day exponential moving average, and relative safety is right there at just 0.99. Be careful with RFP too. I like the equity curve. But look, prior to earnings coming out, look at where the price is. Or if earnings came out today or not. I love the move, but it's pulling back. But it's definitely pulling back. All right, next stock I got on the list, NEO. As you can see, I've got this marked up. I've done stories, videos on our YouTube channel. Look at NEO. Retracing from a level of resistance at 41.98. It's not hard. And look at that. It broke through and broke back through. Technical analysis works. All right. I'm always looking at a 3-month time period on my stocks. Look at where the price is. I got a level of a floor sitting at $34.03. Keep that in mind. Stock sitting in a channel. Be careful with it. All right. And if you're in it, if it breaks on an end-of-day basis, if it breaks down below that 20 exponential moving average, you might want to think about taking some of that off the table. Hey, Joey, I got my toe fuser, so... Oh, gosh. Right, sorry, Tanker. Yeah, that is rough. Woo! All right, next stock in the list. Rio Tinto Mining, other... It broke, interesting, it's above the 20-day exponential moving average, broke above this level of resistance at 86.91. It's now testing as a level of support. It was a level of resistance, broke above, look at that, stayed. Even with today's activity, it is still testing as a level of support. Let that test run out first. If you're in it, leave it alone. If you're not, wait. Let that stock get out of its own space. I do like the earnings, and I like the earnings growth rate. They both look good. But I need the stock to get out of its own way. Next stock, MDC. A lot of jagicity going on, a lot of back and forthosity, a lot of Loch Nessosity. I need this stock to really get out of its way. A beautiful level of resistance sitting at 61.61, and then I got another headwind at 62.80. It is above the 20-day exponential moving average. Earnings has jumped around a little bit. It's like the house of pain. Jump around. Jump up, get beat down. Something like that. Anyway, is earnings coming out on it? And if it is, relative safety is above 1.44. I like, if this stock hasn't reported earnings, I think it's going to beat, and most likely is going to beat earnings. Now, a stock can beat earnings and still go down. That's if the forward guidance is not there. I don't have an indicator for forward guidance, but I'm going to tell you that from a consistency perspective, that MDC should meet or exceed its earnings expectations. The forward guidance, I got nothing on. I'm telling you that it's got a high probability of beating earnings. What about contact with you and team? Is he talking to me? What do you mean? If you're looking fitness, Bernstein Bank, what is that? I'm not sure what you're asking me, fitness. I'm not sure what you're asking me. Okay, so I'm going to keep on moving. I think if the earnings is coming out today, it's going to have a high probability of beating earnings because of relative safety. NXPI sitting in a channel. I got a level of resistance sitting at 209. The stock's trading at 200. This was another earnings play. It looks like the stocks didn't like earnings too tough. I don't, and again, without looking at the news, I can see the earnings came out. Earnings growth is there, but earnings is starting to fall off a little bit. Be careful with that. And the stock is sitting a little bit sideways. A level of support sitting at 182 and a level of resistance at 209. It needs to break out before I'm feeling real comfortable with it. Gamble. You know what I like about this? I know that it's got to get to this level of 1394 as a level of resistance. What I do like, tell you what I do like. I like that it formed a level of support, bounced above that level of support, broke above the 20-day exponential moving average, but came back down. I like the bounce off as an early move to get in, but it met to that level of resistance again, sitting at 1394 and did what? Pull back. Watch earnings per share. It's a little better than it was 3 months ago. Earnings growth is a lot better than it was 3 months ago. But I really need this stock to break through that level of 1394, but I do like the bounce. All right, what else? Ooh, Costco. What do we have? My wife and I, we use BJ's. Do you use a big box store? You have Costco? Well, look at that. Another retail store. It's not way better than BJ's. Anyway, anybody know what that candlestick pattern is off of that level of support? Type it in the room while I drink my Starbucks. What's that candlestick pattern right there? Type it in the room. I know. Anybody? I know I got a little bit of a delay, but I know you guys know what that candlestick pattern is. A hammer, absolutely. That is a reversal pattern, and the stock eventually did. My confirmation, if I'm using the 20-day exponential moving average, nope, Shooting Star would have the big wick at the top. Shooting Star would have a big wick at the top. All right, so as I look at this, bounced off that level of support with that contact with you and your team. You talk to fitness. I don't know what he's, I email us, fitness, email us at connect@vectorvest.com. Joey will get that email. Connect@vectorvest.com. All right. I like that the stock's price, even though it's moving sideways, is still above the 20-day exponential moving average. Earnings per share is definitely moving higher. I like that as well. Keep your eye on it. I'd like to see from if the stock's got more legs to the upside, to see it break above that level of 375.44. All right, 375.44. What else is in here? Gush. Oil could be on the rise. All right, again, as we eat into our current supply, oil could be rising. I like the bounce off support sitting at 55.17. Went above, broke above the 20 exponential moving average, 2 days above where it's going to have its headwinds. Right at that level of 78.54. I'm probably going. Guess what, though? If I'm in it, that's my first profit target, sitting at 78.54. I love the rise in volume, too. There's conviction behind it. I'm thinking about I've got to do a story on oil next week, and we'll probably will. All right. Brunswick Corp. Leisure Leisure products. Ooh, earnings. Look at that. Another earnings play. Relative safety. 1.38 stock should have a high probability of beating earnings. But look at the wick there. That's the shooting star. That's the shooting star, and it's setting up from a bearish perspective. Setting up from a bearish perspective. Keep your eyes on that. But if it hasn't reported yet, I see the earnings is today. If it hasn't reported yet, it's going to have a high probability of meeting or exceeding earnings by way of relative safety. All right. NOG, another petroleum stock, found a level of support. Found a level of support right about here. I'm just eyeballing it. Found a level of support, stayed in the channel. I love that it broke through a level of resistance, sitting at the value of 1349, nicely above the 20-day. And actually today broke through another level of resistance at 1472. This stock is on the move. All right, one level of resistance, two levels of resistance. It's got another level of resistance sitting at 1526. But look at the big wick on the top of that candle. That's some bearish moving there. All right, and bullish moving. Man, look at that. Right, look at where the body is. That body is right there at 1472. Support and resistance really does work well on a stock. I don't like the earnings per share, but I think that oil is about to move. And again, I'm going to do a story next week. PHM, we all know what building is doing. That's a beautiful looking equity curve. Rising earnings growth rate. Earnings came out a couple of days ago. Love the earnings running up. Is it too late? I'd go 12 cents higher than the high. But again, no matter what, I'm going to show you this again. No matter what, this is the movement of almost 8,700 stocks. Be careful. All right, the direction of the market affects 80% of the stocks in the market. We were in a consolidation pattern. We broke out of it, now hitting new highs. The market is tired, folks. All right, market is tired. Be careful. I love the equity curve, though. NTB in a channel between a level of 36.41 is a level of support, 41.36, and look at it right now. You know something? When moving averages don't work well when a stock is moving sideways. I'm going to throw another indicator on here, stochastics. Stochastics, though, tells me that the stock is in overbought territory. Oh, no, not anymore. It's not in overbought territory, so it's still got some move to the upside. Earnings is coming out. Watch earnings. I got a relative safety at 0.94. Earnings may or may not be as good as you think. All right, that indicator really helps to pinpoint for me if earnings should or should not be good. If earnings should or should not be good. All right. Wow. This is in that space. I'm telling you, Aerospace and Defense. I told you guys earlier to keep your eyes on that. Relative safety is above 1, should have good earnings. Nice up day, nicely above the 20 exponential moving average. Watch the earnings per share. Earnings growth is rising. And the stock is not in overbought or oversold territory. I don't need that back on now, but I love that equity curve. Big up day today. And if it hasn't reported yet, it's got a high probability of meeting earnings. And if it already did report, as you can see, that's why. All right. Next one. Wow. TPOR. That's sector transportation. Man, oh man. I'm loving that. That is a beautiful equity curve. That's taking off like a bird. Look at that. That is good. And transportation, whether it's ship or train or truck, that's looking at transportation as a whole. Goods have got to get from place to place. Whoever gave me this is a hell of a stock right here. Are you falling asleep? Wow. I love this equity curve. Again, I'm giving you applause on that. All right. Love that stock. And that's an ETF. So couple of apps. Man, Digital Turbine was a great stock. Right now, the stock's sitting in all kinds of channels and below the 20-day exponential moving average. I love the earnings and the earnings growth. But I'm watching that the stock's price can't even get above the 20-day. And once it does, I needed to get out of this range of 88.72, which is a level of resistance. Stock is in the channel. Now, can I trade the channel? Sure. I can play the retracements from resistance and buy the bounces off support. Sure I can if I'm a lot shorter trader. But if I'm looking long term, right now the stock is in a sideways move. And TPOR is a 3-time triple leverage ET. I like that stock. I'm really liking TPOR. It's like T-Pain, but it's TPOR. That's when T-Pain loses all his money, he becomes TPOR. When T-Pain loses all his money, he becomes TPOR. All right. Laugh in the room if you thought that was funny. All right. CXTR. CXTR, again, another stock sitting in the channel. I like that the stock rose above the 20 exponential moving average. I'd like to see it break above that level of resistance before I jump on board with it, which is sitting at $2.18. All right, it's 10 cents away from it right now. Once it breaks above that, I've got a profit sell point at $2.90. All right. And fitness, I gave you the email for you to contact us. It's connect@VectorVest.com. All right. With that, I'm done. Does anybody have anything they want to add to anything? I know Mark said it was crickets. I thought T-Pain, T-Poor was. Joey didn't like it either. All right. Oh, we got to give a mug away. Joey's gonna give away a mug. Go ahead, Joey. Be nice to Joey. And Michael, VTRX, again, all the stocks that we put up today, if you want a stock analysis on it, go to www.vectorvest.com/free, and you can get a stock analysis on it. All right? So fitness, you got our email, right? Connect@vectorvest.com. No. Huh? Okay. Joey is going through the process, letting the computer pick a random person for our mug giveaway today. It's tabulating. I can hear it in the background. This is what it sounds like, so that you know. Hold on. All right. That's the rip. Who's the winner? John Boston is the winner of the cup this week. John Boston. All right. Hey, John, congratulations on the mug. All right. Congratulations on the mug. No, not John Stahl, John Boston. John, if you're not here, I'm giving it away to somebody else. Oh, is he here? All right, Joey didn't like that joke because it wasn't his idea. That's all right. John. Hey, John, in order for you to get the mug, you have to send an email to connect@vectorvest.com. Connect@vectorvest.com. All right, put me on the other page. I'm tired. Today, there was a lot of energy today. Again, if you're brand new, folks, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Even if this comes out as a recording, share the recording with your friends. Please do. Let them come to the channel. A lot of good stories today. Who do I email? John! Email. This is the email address. connect@vectorvest.com. That's my slow voice. That's my Barry White voice. Connect@vectorvest.com. Smooth jazz. No, don't put smooth jazz in there. But connect@vectorvest.com. He always taking coffee and he's not here. Oh, there you are. I'm right here. I'm always talking coffee. All right. So, thank you guys for all of your input today. The great questions. And thank you for the stocks that we put out here today. It's a fast-moving day. Thanks, Glenn and Joey, for all your hard work. Listen, this is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. All right. So, with that, what? Derby? Let me show more Derby? Oh, all right. So, with that being said, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, hit the like button, all those things. How many likes did we get today?
7.
How many people did we have? About 200. I would like to have 200 likes. But I know we're getting to the end. If we can get up to 200 likes, it'd be great. If we can get up to 200 likes, it'd be great. But the biggest things, subscribe to the channel. If you want a trial to the VectorVest software, we'll give it to you 99 cents for 30 days. www.vectorvest.com/YT. Look down below the video in the description. The link is there as well. If you're looking to get a free stock analysis on any of your stocks that you own, www.vectorvest.com/free. Look down below. You see the link for that as well. Folks, I'm done for today. Until next week, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii, salam, shalom, namaste. This video is over. See ya!